Good morning. There's quite a bit going on this week. Uh, the main thing is happening today or not happening today, and that is a potential government shutdown. So, this has happened before. We've come close to it happening, and it did not happen before. I've been through, feels like a dozen of these. So, as far as the mortgage industry, right, uh, things slow down. They don't necessarily stop. Some things do stop. FHA, VA, and USDA are government loans. They have help desks. They help to provide clarity. If someone had a history where there may have been a foreclosure or something got redeemed or something, we can call centers, which have underwriters and administrative staff that help us. Those may not be staff that could slow down some files. It could stop some files. Now, USDA could be the most impacted because when we're done with the USDA file and we get our clear to close, we send the file to the local USDA office. They review it, takes about 10 days, and they put their stamp of approval on it. I would not think those would be deemed essential employees. I don't know. Um, I haven't done much USDA because of the disparity between the income cap and the tight debt ratio, but that could be seeing a little bit of difficulty there. The second point here, the IRS and the Social Security offices, we determine and confirm that a person is connected with the Social Security number they provide to us at the time of application. And with everyone, we use in parentheses here Form 4506C to get a transcript of every borrower's IRS tax returns for the past couple of years. We compare them to what is provided to make sure that they are legitimate and accurate, and we also make sure there's no arrearage or tax delinquency that could impact the ability for us to approve buyers. So we might not be able to get those at all. Now, in the past, we have allowed files to close before we got those, but that would be in a case where maybe the tax returns that were provided were prepared by a CPA, not self prepared. This used to be a much bigger problem, in the earlier days of the internet when people could, you know, forge things a lot more easily. Uh, the last point here is people who are actually employed by government entities who get laid off or furloughed. Uh, I believe there would not be an interruption in VA benefits, but I seem to recall slowdowns happening just because of staffing issues. So this may be a bunch of bluster. This may happen. So we don't know what's going to happen, but to kind of just be prepared. In the past, mortgage rates have actually improved a little bit during the slowdown because people got out of the stock market and got into bonds. It's a very, very shaky movement in the bond market and thus for mortgage rates. So we're going to watch that closely. We'll see what happens today. Uh, Speaking of which, this first slide does not involve any discount fee. These are, some people call them our par rates. Not really accurate, but that's okay. Uh, we remain pretty much where we were last week, which is about 6.375, give or take, on a conventional mortgage loan with no discount, and then FHA and VA, both at 5.875% with no discount. But also, I have a 10-year fixed to conventional loan, fixed for the first 10 years at 5.875 with no discount in there. Let's look at buying these down a little bit with some seller concessions if we can still get those and see how that looks. Now we have a little bit of discount here. We're getting down to 6.125 at a cost over here of 0.375%, 0.00375 multiplied by the loan amount. That number added to closing costs. It could be paid by a seller concession. A little less in discount fees, the FHA, where we can get to 5.625 with 0.00125. That's not very much. I didn't want to buy these down too much, but you can. The 30-year VA here, 5.625% with just a quarter point. Also, remember, no lender fees on my VA stuff that I do. And we go up to a $1.5 million loan amount with no mortgage insurance. That 10-year fixed arm next to the bottom, fixed for the first 10 years, no prepayment penalty, coming in at about 5.5% for 10 years. Not bad. That's for 1% of the loan amount. You'd make that money back probably on a $600,000 loan, make that back in about a year and a half via the monthly savings. At the bottom, we have that investment property with no income docs loan that's coming in about 6.5%. That one's a little heftier, a little more costly at 1.25%. And I was looking at rates, and we know that everybody has their magic number. And the belief is that everybody out there is sitting on a 2.75, 3.5% COVID rate. But to check this out, I'm going to move myself out of the way here. So these are mortgage rate bandwidths. Let's start up here in the dark red. A rate of more than 6% is held by 19.7% of mortgage holders in the United States. That's just as many as the top left here, who have under 3%. So what's happening is the pie is changing. Uh, Now, in the red here in the center, in the fives, 10% are in the fives. In the fours, about 18%. So 18, 20, 30. So half of the mortgage loans, you could say, these smaller triangles here, are at 4% or above. Meanwhile, 20% are under 3. They got something in the twos, like me. And then in the threes, 3 to 3.99%. Look at this, about one third, 32% of mortgage holders are in that 3% bandwidth. And that's kind of the shackles of what's kind of keeping things from getting going, that inventory, right? So uh, half, little over half of our mortgage holders here are under 4%. But this one up here is growing, as is this one here. As these guys, grow, it's going to represent people maybe with a lot of equity selling their home, putting a larger amount down, getting a smaller mortgage loan at a little bit of a higher rate. I do those kinds of analyses all the time. And then we also can look at paying off other debt with the equity you get when you sell your house. So I like this graphic here. It's very telling. This is as of today. So one thing that we want to talk about just at the end here is protecting your clients and keeping them your clients. Okay. So I want to talk about uh, prosperity partner versus typical competitor. Okay. So on the upper left here, prosperity sends co-branded marketing to your client with your branding on it, your picture, your blurb, your name, for years, actually, from the very beginning through the 5 years post closing. Competitors do work to capture client information and market their own agents. Look at what Compass is trying to do right now and may be successful at. But I know it might be down the road, but this is what's happening. You look at Rocket and their partners, Redfin. They could be putting your clients at risk if your client is talking to Rocket instead of me. The second line here, long-term partnership, we reinforce your value in every communication, which means that I literally will talk to every agent I have a deal with and say, here's what I'm thinking of talking about to this person. Let me run it past you and see what you think. I don't want to, upset them. If you know something about them personally, I want to make sure that I approach them properly while also professionally. Um, while competitors receive and send messages that don't acknowledge your role in the home buying journey. It's a big box place. They keep credit union hours. They don't work weekends. Uh, the partner here, your success matters. We protect your business and help you build lasting relationships. Meanwhile, while anybody but me, most people but me, are focused on their own business, often at your expense. So the thing about prosperity is, point one, we never undercut you and try to pull your clients to our real estate partner when we have that first pre-approval conversation, because you are our partner. We do send co-branded campaigns, birthdays, holidays, anniversaries of purchase, uh, tips for paying the loan off early, things like that. But your information, your picture, your contact info is in every one of those emails. We do that for, right now we're doing it for 5 years after closing. So your client's going to be seeing you, remembering the good time they had with you and being loyal to you, hopefully more so than if that didn't happen. Bottom one here is about client retention. We want to keep you top of mind with your clients from the very start of the transaction to years down the road. And part of us doing that is getting done with the mortgage process, hopefully before your client finds a house, so they can silo the memory of the mortgage headache from the fun they had with you planning the moves. And thank you so much. Had a great time at Give Day Away. Let's do something fun soon. Okay. Thank you all. Have a good day.